Every time the world feels like it's falling apart, something strange happens. Some people panic, some people disappear, and a very small group quietly builds the next world in the shadows. Because collapse is never the end. It's the transfer. For thousands of years, this pattern has repeated, from the fall of ancient empires to the digital revolutions of today. Every crash, every war, every end of an era isn't chaos. It's a reset as carefully disguised as disaster. The wealth doesn't vanish. The power doesn't die. They just move, from weak hands to strong ones, from the public to the few who already saw it coming. When Rome fell, gold didn't turn to dust. It was melted down, reminted, and owned by a new elite. When the industrial age collapsed under its own weight, machines didn't stop. They changed owners. And when the 2008 crash hit, money didn't evaporate. It reappeared inside screens, algorithms, and data. That's the hidden design of every cycle. We think collapse means failure. But to those who understand the pattern, it means opportunity. Because while everyone else is running from the fire, they're already building something behind the smoke. Every era begins the same way, with belief. Belief that growth can last forever, that systems are stable, that power is permanent. Then greed grows, debt multiplies, the system bloats, and confidence turns into delusion. People call it prosperity, but it's just imbalance, waiting to snap. And when it finally breaks, that's when the real players step in. They buy what's left, they rebuild the ruins, and the world begins again, under new management. Look at the patterns. Every 80 to 100 years, civilization hits a wall. It happened with Rome, with the Mongols, with the British Empire. Now it's happening again, only faster, because technology accelerates everything. In the last 2 decades, we've seen money turn invisible, power turn digital, and attention turn into currency. We're not ruled by kings anymore. We're ruled by code, by networks, by algorithms we can't even see. But the logic is the same. A few build the system, the rest feed it. And when it breaks, the same few rebuild it, stronger, smarter, and harder to challenge. The next collapse won't look like the ones before. It won't be cities burning or armies fighting. It'll be something quieter, systems freezing, markets blinking red, and entire economies going offline overnight. The reset won't need bombs, just code. And when that happens, the transfer begins again. Old wealth will vanish on paper, replaced by new digital assets, new currencies, new rules, owned by those who built the code before anyone else understood it. That's the true cycle. Not destruction, transition, not chaos, control. Every major event you see, financial crashes, market bubbles, new technologies, they're not random, they're phases. Each one clears out the old and makes room for the next order. It's like nature, a growth, decay, rebirth, except in the hands of people who know how to steer it. And what about everyone else? They live through the illusion, believing the world is stable, believing their savings, their jobs, their governments will protect them, until the system quietly changes, and they realize too late that everything now works differently. Think about the last decade. AI is rewriting labor, banks are rewriting currency, corporations are rewriting ownership, and humanity is just adapting, not leading. Every click, every trade, every decision feeds data to a network that learns faster than any empire ever could. And those who own the network own the future. But here's the truth, nobody says out loud. The system doesn't collapse because it's broken. It collapses because it's finished. It served its purpose, extracted what it could, and now it must evolve, like a snake shedding its skin. Painful, but necessary. And the ones who understand that don't resist the change. They ride it. This is how civilizations move forward, not by stability, but by collapse and rebirth. Each generation thinks it's the last, but it's only a bridge to the next form. The world ends many times, but only for those who refuse to adapt. Look closer, and you'll see the signs everywhere. Governments drowning in debt, currencies losing value, corporations merging into monopolies, people replacing trust with technology. It feels unstable, but that's exactly how transformation begins. Because before something new can rise, the old must fall apart, Not all at once, but piece by piece, quietly, invisibly, until one day the old rules stop working. And that's when the world resets again. The future isn't built in stability, it's forged in disruption, by those who see collapse not as tragedy but as timing. The question is never, will it happen again? It's who's already preparing for it. The real builders aren't in governments or corporations anymore. They're in code, in innovation, in ideas that don't rely on permission. They're shaping systems that don't collapse. They evolve. And while the masses mourn the fall of the old, those few will already be living in the next cycle. So when you hear that the market is crashing, the world is ending, the system is breaking, remember this. That's what they said every time before something greater emerged. It's the rhythm of civilization, the cycle that builds the future. It never stops, it only shifts hands. And if you can see it early, you won't fear the collapse, you'll be ready to build what comes after.